This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Right now at 6 on Good Morning Indiana.
It's great because just in general, compared to someone who only speaks one language, I'm able to communicate with a broader variety of people.
Only on RTV6, the special skills, making this class of recruit officers stand out. You'll see and hear why they're equipped to break down barriers on a global scale.
For some people, connecting with their lifelong partner happens while they're still in school. But what if the relationship isn't healthy? We're taking a look at what schools are doing to combat teen dating violence.
February is American Heart Month, and that includes raising awareness of heart attacks. This morning, one woman's incredible story of survival and how she's now taking life one step at a time.
And the coronavirus makes headlines nearly every day. Working for you, how scammers are taking notice and what you can do so you don't waste your money.
And here at 6 o'clock, we want to welcome you into Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday, February 19th.
Do not be alarmed. That bright object in the sky today will be the sun.
I'm happy you didn't just drop the other S word that you've been trying to get to fall from the sky here from quite some time. Yes, we have sun today, Todd, and we're going to see it for the rest of the week. Pretty good news.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing. We've had sunny days here and there across the area throughout the course of this winter, but we haven't really been able to string several days in a row of sunshine together, and that's finally what we're going to do here throughout the coming days. Now, it is cold when you walk out the door this morning, 23 to about 29 degrees, so you'll need to bundle up a little bit, but the skies are mainly clear. We have no fog out there, no visibility issues, so you shouldn't have any weather-related issues. Just a few clouds here drifting through northern Indiana, and that's more of a product of just that northwesterly wind coming across Lake Michigan, and they shouldn't even make it down here into central Indiana. You look off to the west, it's pretty quiet, and some snow showers there in northern Iowa. Those will not impact us at all. So if we get you out the door on this Wednesday morning, halfway through the work week, 25 degrees at 8 a.m. with plenty of sunshine. Temperature gets up to 33 degrees by the noon hour. We should go up another couple degrees from that point to highs in the mid to upper 30s. We'll talk more about the extended forecast and the sunshine that goes all the way into your weekend coming up in just a few minutes. But at 6:01, it's time for another look at traffic with Lauren.
All right, Todd, and the good news, we don't have any crashes to slow you down around the metro area. Here's a live look at US 31 near 116th Street. A view for Carmel drivers. Everything's moving along up to speed, both northbound and southbound there in the highway. So we'll continue to monitor that spot and keep you updated throughout the morning. But right now, let's take a look at our drive times. Heading southbound on Interstate 65, taking you up to Boone County area, State Road 267, heading to I-70 at the North Split. It's a 20-minute drive. That is normal. Everything's traveling up to speed.
The time now is 6:02. Police patrols can make a difference on public safety. But if police and the public don't speak that same language, getting information can be difficult. Only on RTV6, the skills that make the latest Metro Police recruit class ready to respond to a changing global city.
Go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
From the exercises
He may go here
to the emphasis on training,
and go wide again with another hook.
the endurance required to earn wearing a police badge takes weeks of agility, academics, and an attention to details.
Policing has changed, but I feel like we need more people to step out and really kind of help build community relations with the people.
Yo siempre he querido ser policía desde niño.
But this Metro Police recruit class, unlike any other,
Tenho 28 anos, me chamo Caleb Medeiros.
has set a benchmark. It includes
¿Cómo aprendes a hablar español?
the largest number of officer candidates who can speak multiple languages.
They see a Spanish-speaking officer, and they tend to get more comfortable.
So para usted quiere usar su lengua todos los días?
Sí, señor. Si algún día puedo llegar a la gente, para mí sería un placer.
Beyond the Spanish, recruit officers can speak Russian
Меня зовут Валера Novotny.
and Bosnian.
I'm here to help. It is okay to approach us. We want to help. We want to be there for your community.
And there's Portuguese, the language spoken by Indy 500 drivers Tony Canad and Elio Castroneves.
Que somos todos seres humanos, todos estamos aqui here to help people that need help, and we're just regular people like everyone else, just doing a job.
Soy oficial de...
Some will be the first members of law enforcement in their families. Others are following in a parent's footsteps.
He was officer. He had this uniform back in Ukraine that I used to wear when he wasn't home. He loved helping people.
In the city they call home, where anything can happen, these recruits are prepared to serve, protect, and speak to people on a global scale.
I want to be one of those officers where I show up and people want to come and talk to me.
So this morning, you just met members of the 20th IMPD recruit class. This class is made up of 54 people in the training academy. Right now, the first class with the most foreign languages spoken. You just met them right here on RTV6.
Here at 6:05, dating violence among teens is a growing problem. Now, school policies are being looked at as a way to curb the growing number of students impacted by it.
So this morning, a Ball State University study is showing that most schools don't have a plan in place when it comes to handling teen dating violence. Our Kelsey Anderson is joining us live this morning with what advocates say needs to change. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning, Meredith and Lauren. So what this study found is from the principals they interviewed across the country, 75% of those principals said they don't have protocols in place when it comes to teen dating violence. Meanwhile, more than 50% of those same principals said they have dealt with survivors of teen dating violence in the last 2 years. But it's important to remember that teen dating violence isn't just physical. Colleen Yeakel with the Indiana Coalition to End Domestic Violence says teen dating violence can be emotional, mental, and in today's world on the internet. She says it's important that schools are proactive when it comes to combating teen dating violence by adopting new policies.
It clarifies for staff what their responsibilities are. It gives them guidance. Most policies include training for staff to prepare them to notice when abusive behaviors are happening so that they can proactively intervene and stop it before it escalates.
She says because of the Title IX law here in Indiana, schools are supposed to have policies in place when it comes to violence and abuse. Now, the Indiana Coalition for Domestic Violence, they did make a model policy for schools to adopt. We've got it linked for you over on the RTV6 News app. Just head over there whenever you get a chance. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time now is 6:06 this morning. Hoosier native and NASCAR driver Ryan Newman, he continues to recover following that horrific crash in the last lap of the Daytona 500. His team, Roush Fenway Racing, says that Newman remains under the care of doctors at a Daytona hospital, but that he's awake and speaking with family and doctors. They say that Ryan and his family appreciate the concern and heartfelt messages from across the country.
All right, you want to sit here or do you want to leave?
An incident involving police being called to a Ball State University classroom is bringing changes to the campus. The changes are planned to make the Muncie campus a more welcoming place. That's according to University President Jeffrey Mearns. The announcement comes after that incident where a professor called police because a student wouldn't change seats. The professor, Dr. Shaheen Borna, will not be teaching the rest of the semester. This morning, students want more specific updates on the university's plans.
I think that they need to make a bit more public whatever changes they're planning on implementing.
Mearns says he's listening to feedback from lots of groups of people to implement changes. You can read his full statement in this story on our app.
It is 6:08. Indigo says it will present a final proposal on the route changes at its next board of directors meeting next week. The proposed changes are part of a major plan to transition that bus system from a hub and spoke model, which requires most routes to go through downtown, to a grid-based system. Indigo says feedback from the community is playing a role in this process. Dozens of people made their voices heard at a meeting held on Tuesday night.
Currently, there's a lot of people that live in Pike Township that do not go to Pike schools. So they do use public transportation. I'm out there standing on the bus stop with these students, and I think that it's inconsiderate that they will no longer service us simply because there's not enough resources.
The staff is already taking some looks at those things, but I want to make clear that even if we make changes today, that doesn't mean that we won't look at a route and make potential changes in the future.
Next week's meeting with the board of directors is set for Thursday, the 27th.
Their story is one that many strive for. Love at first sight leading to a growing family.
But one day she was suddenly left fighting for her life. There we go. Her husband wondering if he had lost her for good.
RTV6 has partnered with the American Heart Association in support of their Go for Red Women campaign, the national movement to end heart disease and stroke in women.
Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning with Pam's story. Alyssa, this is a wonderful story.
That's right, it is. So last November, Pam and Jerry were at home watching football. It was a Saturday morning, and that's when Pam started feeling an achiness in her chest and shoulder area. And at first, she thought maybe she had pulled a muscle lifting something. And then she started feeling pain in her jaw. That's when she asked her husband to take her to the ER.
I said, right now? And she goes, yes, right now.
Just 20 minutes later, Jerry stood in the doorway of his wife's hospital room and watched as her heart stopped.
It happened so quick. One of the nurses just, came right over and started doing CPR, and I thought, oh my God. And then you could see on the screen, there was just literally no heartbeat at all. And I thought, I don't remember saying I love you today.
But what he did remember was the night he met her.
I told her that night, I said, yeah, here's the girl that I'm going to marry. And sure enough, that's what happened.
The two have spent more than 40 years together, becoming parents, then grandparents.
I thought, oh my God, 40-some years and it's over. She's here 1 minute, she's gone the next. And then 10 minutes later, they bring her back.
That pain, if you've never had a broken rib, holy mackerel.
Pam suffered a heart attack and a broken rib from compressions, but she lived. And now this is how her and Jerry start their days.
We have started being more active as far as walking. We're eating healthier.
The 65-year-old is still recovering and has to relax a little bit more than she'd like to.
To sit and watch your husband clean the dishes, or, he loads the dishwasher wrong. And
Of course. But Pam says there's so many other things he does right, like telling her, I love you, each and every day.
Maybe 10 times a day. Because you never know, life is so short.
And Pam tells me that she ended up having 100% blockage in her LAD artery, which is also known as the widowmaker. And she says when she was at the hospital, multiple nurses told her just how lucky she was that she got there in time. She also says she hopes her story is a reminder to people, especially women, to get their heart checked often and frequently. And she also says since then, her sisters have had their heart checked. One of them learned that she has an aortic aneurysm and needs to have that monitored at all times. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you. Manufacturers have a big need for new employees. New at 6:15, I'll show you how an organization and local schools are teaming up to show students that a future in manufacturing doesn't have to be boring. Todd.
And speaking of schools, as the kids head off to the bus stop here this morning, you're walking out to temperatures that are in the 20s. You'll definitely need to bundle up a little bit here, but it is dry. That is the good news as the kids come home. Mostly sunny skies and a temperature of 37. And today starts a nice stretch of sunny weather for us here in central Indiana. We'll talk all about it in your Storm Team 6 forecast. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
Call Keller & Keller right now.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Yesterday, right here at Hiring Hoosiers, we took you to Subaru of Indiana Automotive to show you their STEM Learning and Discovery Lab for young students.
It's in partnership with INMAC, an organization working to connect students and industry leaders in manufacturing together with the goal of connecting kids to the numerous career opportunities in our state.
So we know Subaru, Fiat Chrysler, and Honda, they all have those unique labs inside of their facilities, but so do several area schools. Check out this brand new INMAC Design and Innovation Studio in Dayton Elementary School. They call it their Makerspace Lab. So inside, students are exposed to science, technology, engineering, and math in a fun way, as you can see here. The students also work together on completing tasks as a team. Principal Ryan Simmons tells us the young students come into the lab with so much knowledge of technology, it really helps harness those skills in a learning environment.
Students are really excited, so we really have just gotten this off the ground and running right now. But you see your students who may not always be excited about book work, they're able to come in here and they're able to get that hands-on experience. You're really able to see those students shine and see the light bulb go off.
So far, INMAC has more than 15 school partners for these specialized STEM learning labs. INMAC provides an investment for the studio equipment and provides STEM curriculum in partnership with Purdue. They also plan to have at least 25 of these in place across our state by 2021. So if you want to learn more about these INMAC Innovation Studios, you can learn more and see how you can get this unique opportunity in your child's school by connecting with them and learning more. Just visit our story on our website. That's hiringhoosiers.com.
Kind of jealous that back in the day I didn't have an INMAC.
I know. You probably didn't even have a Mac in your school back in the day, whereas Lauren and I at least had that.
I didn't have any Macs either.
Yeah, we had the cool, like, colorful ones, those, like, big, desktop ones.
No comment, Todd Claus.
Those were the days.
I saw somebody, they were doing cleanup at a high school basketball game in the bleachers. They found one of those 3-inch floppy disks.
Oh.
Like, who even has those anymore, right?
Yeah.
I just saw that. So,
An artifact.
Is that seriously? Take that to a museum ASAP.
Times have changed. All right, outside right now, one change we have in your weather forecast compared to really much of this month is we're finally able to string a bunch of days together here without talking about rain, without talking about snow or just cloudy skies. We have a lot of sunshine heading your way in the coming days. Temperatures this morning are cold. You definitely need to bundle up. 24 in Greencastle, 25 in Bloomington, as well as Greenfield. A little colder off to the east. Richmond, you're sitting at 23 degrees outside right now. Here's the view of our beautiful city from IMS, and you can see all the buildings here across the city. And I pointed out yesterday, the War Memorial, now that the construction's done, lit up nicely there just north of downtown. So as we go throughout the course of the day, it's just going to be a slow and steady climb temperature-wise up to about 38 degrees for your afternoon high. If you're planning it out hour by hour, you can pick your hour here and see the temperature. We'll highlight the noon hour at 33 before we get up to that high temperature of 38 degrees. Now, radar has been very active. We've had, it seems like storm system after storm system every couple days. Most of them have been rain so far this year in January and February. But nonetheless, this is a nice quiet pattern we're entering across the area. A few clouds to the north, back off to our west. You see some snow here near Omaha. This is going to try to scoot in our direction tomorrow. And I'll go over to TrueCast and show you that through to today, there's really nothing going on. Mostly sunny skies. It's a beautiful day for us with temperatures just a few degrees below normal for this time of year. But late tonight, we're going to start to see the clouds increase just a little bit. The good news is there's just some high, thin clouds, and that's going to help to keep the temperatures up a little bit overnight. It's still going to be cold, don't get me wrong, but if we didn't have the clouds tomorrow, we're probably talking about single digits and low teens, and instead we're going to be talking about temperatures right around 20. But as far as that snow I pointed out off to our west, it's not out of the question tomorrow morning. A couple of you in far northern communities could see a few flakes, no accumulation, but I just don't want you to be shocked if you wake up tomorrow morning and you see a few snow showers moving through. Here are those temperatures for tomorrow morning: 19 in Lafayette, about 21 in Indianapolis, and then for the day tomorrow, we're looking at mostly sunny skies. It's the coldest day I have in the 7-day planning forecast with a high temperature right around 30 degrees. We're back into the mid-30s on Friday, and then temperatures are in the 40s for the weekend. Saturday's the better day of the weekend because it's dry, features sunshine. Some scattered rain showers return to the forecast on Sunday. Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Here is a look right now at a crash police are at the scene of on the northwest side. The wrecked SUV is in the median here between 86th Street and the on-ramp to I-465. No word yet on any injuries, but you can see that they are working the scene. Expect a few delays if this is part of your commute, but other than that, once you get past this little spot right here, everything is traveling smoothly on the northwest side. Right now, we do want to take a look from our live drive vehicle heading southbound on I-65 near Greenwood there in Johnson County. Traffic's moving along up to speed there southbound and across the way heading northbound. Have a safe morning commute.
At 6:20, you're heading to work, and it's back to work with the Hoosiers tonight as they visit Minnesota. It will be a late tip at the barn as they try to win on the road for the first time in a month. The team is coming off an overwhelming loss against Michigan on Sunday. Now, in each of the team's 6 road losses, the Cream and Crimson has trailed by at least 17 points. The upcoming game will be a tough one for the team. The Golden Gophers coming to tonight's game 10-3 at home. The road schedule does not get any easier for IU. 3 of the next 4 games are all away. from Assembly Hall.
A pup and a pigeon, a pair of friends you wouldn't necessarily expect. All new at 6:25. We've got the story behind this unlikely duo.
Well, February is American Heart Month, and each morning we're giving you tips to guide you to a healthier lifestyle. Here's one: let your stomach catch up to your mouth by pausing between bites. That's what my mom always tells me to do. Good advice. These tips are part of the Go Red for Women campaign, sponsored by the American Heart Association. And here's a live look outside right now at a crescent moon. A live shot here over Indianapolis. The time right now is 6:21. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6.
Flooring, floors to your home, that too.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. The time right now is 6:24, and you're looking here at where police are working a crash. This is on the northwest side of the ramp system at 86th Street and I-465. Use caution as you're heading through that area. No word yet on any injuries.
So what's trending at 6:24? I am not one to give advice to criminals.
Okay.
Okay? But let me just give you some advice if you are crooked. Don't put anything on your face, because when there's a lineup, more than likely, someone's going to spot you. So they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. But this repeat offender from Terre Haute needs only 2. A man with the words "crime pays" tattooed across his forehead was arrested for the second time in 3 months for leading police on a chase. Donald Murray is now facing multiple charges yet again. And Mr. Murray, just to remind you, because you have that big billboard on your forehead, when there is a lineup, they're going to say it's you.
It's the guy with the tattoo on the forehead.
Don't do that.
Here's a more heartwarming story. A New Jersey nurse and former patient realizing just how small the world is. This is a photo of David Caldwell, his newborn son Zane, and Lisa McGowan. She has been taking care of Zane since he was admitted to the NICU at St. Peter's University Hospital. She also took care of Zane's dad more than 3 decades ago. Caldwell and his fiance showed her a photo as proof. The trio then recreated that old photo. Awesome. That is incredible.
Yeah. That's awesome. She looks great.
She does.
Yeah. Well, a bird that cannot fly became best buds with an unlikely 4-legged animal. Herman the pigeon suffered neurological damage more than a year ago. The Mia Foundation in Rochester, New York took him in. That's where Herman met Lundy, a Chihuahua puppy that can't walk. The two really hit it off, as you can see. It's unknown if Herman and Lundy will stay together. Lundy may already have a new home lined up. You may have to adopt a pigeon there as well.
You know, most people, I think, would say they're not a fan of pigeons, but I think that's maybe like the cutest pigeon I have seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, as a
there's a dog.
I know where this is
Former
going.
New Yorker.
As a former New Yorker, let me just say that pigeons are not naturally cute, especially anywhere in New York City. That was a cute. I'm going to give that pigeon a 9.
Yes,
that was a cute pigeon.
Yeah.
Pigeons, I know what you're talking about. You walk it.
We will vouch. We're going to vouch for that pigeon.
Caught in New York.
You missed it the first time. All right, outside right now it's cold. As you walk out the door, temperatures are in the 20s and mid-20s. For a matter of fact, temperatures today will be slow to climb, even with sunshine out there. So the good news is we have sunshine in the forecast. Bad news is temperatures will only get into the mid to upper 30s later on this afternoon. But the sunshine getting a little bit stronger this time of year, so it won't feel all that bad if you're out there. 42 in Bloomington as well as Columbus. A little colder to the north, with a high temperature today improved right around 34 degrees.
Todd, thank you so much. So every day we're getting updates about the coronavirus. So what would you do if you received an email about that from the government?
I'd probably be a little skeptical. Working for you, John Matteries warns about the newest virus scams, hoping to trick you so you don't waste your money.
When it comes to the coronavirus, first came the news reports, then came the conspiracy theories, and now come the scams to steal your money and your identity. Scammers and hackers are following the headlines, according to the FTC. The agency warns about a sudden surge in phishing emails that appear to be from the CDC, with information about COVID-19 cases near you or where to find a coronavirus vaccine. Click the links in these and they will give you a virus, a computer virus. Or worse, they'll convince you to log into Outlook and will get your personal information. Some are so slick, the email appears to be from cdc.gov. But notice the .org at the end? That's not right. And from the Doesn't That Stink file, conspiracy theories going viral as well. Wired magazine calls the coronavirus outbreak a petri dish for conspiracy theories on Twitter and Facebook. Doesn't that stink? One theory claims the U.S. government knew it was coming because Lysol bottles already say Lysol kills human coronavirus. But these viruses have been around for years. COVID-19 is a new version never seen before. Bottom line, as with any email, never answer with personal information, so you stay safe and you don't waste your money. Working for you, I'm John Matteries. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Wednesday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. Police are still investigating what led up to a violent crash and possible shooting that left a woman dead and a man injured. 4 cars in total were involved in the crash at 30th and Lafayette Road Tuesday morning. Police have not named any suspects, but they believe this incident was isolated and directed.
And this morning, let's take you to Hamilton County. A Carmel police officer will serve a year probation after pleading guilty to driving while intoxicated. Brian Hood's plea agreement says he must complete a drug and alcohol evaluation and attend a victim impact panel. Hood is still employed with Carmel Police and has been on leave since his September arrest. However, the department is now taking steps to fire the officer.
A proposal banning drivers from holding their cell phones on Indiana roads is moving forward. A state Senate committee passed the bill on Tuesday. A similar bill has already passed the House. At the beginning of the year, Governor Eric Holcomb said passing a hands-free driving law was one of his top priorities.
A lot of people are sad about this news. After 94 years in business, the Indiana Beach Amusement Park is closing. The California company that owns it says the decision was driven by finances, and they plan to sell the park's rides to other amusement parks. It's a big blow to the White County economy. Indiana Beach typically employed about 900 workers during the summer months.
There is more than corn in Indiana. There's sunshine today.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, and it's going to stick around, which hasn't happened at all really so far the past few months here across the area. We've had a day here and there of sunshine, but today as you walk out the door, grab the sunglasses. You'll need those from start to finish throughout the day today, and then the hat and gloves and the heavier jacket needed as temperatures this morning are sitting in the 20s. One of the reasons why we have clear skies, just a few clouds here to the north that are going to try to filter southward throughout the morning, but as you look back off to the west, there's really nothing heading in our direction. So throughout the day today, just bundle up a little bit this morning. We'll eventually climb out of the 20s by about 10, 11 o'clock this morning. Your noontime temperature is right around 33 degrees. We should top off right around 37 for your afternoon high. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Still monitoring a crash cleanup right now. Police on the scene, as you can see here at 86th Street near the on-ramp to I-465. An SUV wrecked in the median. No word on any injuries. Traffic is still getting by, as you can see here from our INDOT traffic camera. Of course, we'll continue to keep you updated. At 6:31, dating violence among teens is a growing problem across the country, and so school policies are being looked at as a way to curb the growing number of students impacted by it.
A study from Ball State University says that right now most schools don't have a plan when it comes to taking action against teen dating violence. Our Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with what advocates say needs to change. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So teen dating violence can be seen in several different forms. It can be physical, mental, and emotional. And also right now they're seeing it a lot of times on the internet. So what this study found out of Ball State found is that more than 75% of the high school principals interviewed from across the country said they don't have a set protocol when it comes to responding to teen dating violence. Meanwhile, more than 50% of those same principals said they've assisted survivors in the past 2 years. The author of the study says some principals said dating violence is a minor issue and said, quote, "We are not here to deal with dating problems."
8 hours the child has to spend with you, and it becomes your responsibility, whether you want to call it a social responsibility, moral, ethical, legal. It is a responsibility, and you have to believe that children find schools to be their first source of contact for healthcare, social problems, academic problems, relationship issues.
While speaking with officials with the Indiana Coalition to End Domestic Violence, they say it's important that schools train their staff to handle teen dating violence. Now, the Indiana Coalition to End Domestic Violence, they make a protocol model for you. We've got it linked for you over on the RTV6 News app, so take a look at that when you get a chance. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
The time now is 6:33, and fire departments, they're making some changes after this house fire in Madison County raised concerns about emergency response times. This happened Saturday in the Summer Lake community. And that neighborhood sits in the corners of multiple counties, including Hamilton, Hancock, and Madison. And that location can lead to confusion when it comes to responding to an emergency. So you see, the family says they called 911 at 12:08 a.m. But let me walk you through what happened next. According to Madison County, the call that initiated a response came in at 12:14. And that's because Green Township has a contract with Vernon Township in Hancock County for emergency services. The call was transferred to them. The family says their call was transferred a total of 3 times, and at one point was disconnected from dispatchers. Neighbors say by the time crews arrived, the house was gone.
The firefighters had nothing they could do. They stood back. They broke the fire hydrants open as quick as they could, but they stood back and let it burn the rest of the way, because what else can they do? I respect the fire department. I respect the police department. They tried, but they bounced them around instead of having the absolute closest people here.
Vernon Township tells RTV6 that they are working to address the issue. Green Township leaders are also discussing possible ways to make improvements. They say the community should consider building its own fire station in that area.
Up next, a special project for us here at RTV6 as we let some student journalists open up about an important topic. We'll show you how a high school deals with grief and loss, especially when they have to do it many times during a school year. It's 6:35. Stick around. We'll be right back after this break.
Course today, only at Allegiant.com.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. RTV6 is collaborating with 4 area high schools on a national campaign known as the News Literacy Project. The aim is to reach young people and to help them become critical consumers of news and information, and to make smart decisions about what to trust, share, and what to act on.
So as journalists, we push them to ask those thought-provoking questions and then zero in on issues that directly impact their local circles and communities. So our Mark Mullins worked with student journalists at Warren Central High School on Indianapolis's East Side.
The goal is to convey the vital role of a free press in a democracy.
And how has it helped, and why could this be the model for other schools around the country?
To show young people the importance of being informed, engaged participants in civic issues. It is the News Literacy Project, an effort RTV6 and its parent company Scripps Media have joined.
I'm going to go to college for video production.
I plan to go to IUB to major in telecommunications.
Ball State to go into their meteorology and climatology program.
I met with talented young student journalists at Warren Central High School to produce with them a story focusing on a key issue in their eyes from their experiences.
The topic has to be something that you guys feel is important in your community or school that needs attention or light shined on it.
We brainstormed.
Every district should have free school lunches because, you can't assume that everybody has the means to pay for lunch or bring their lunch either.
We discussed.
Like, teens go through
therapy,
a lot. And I feel like there's so much expected of us.
We asked questions.
Why are you making it so hard? Like, if we're told to come to you, what do you expect us to do when you tell us no?
We exchanged ideas, like in any newsroom.
Teen violence is a very big topic in Warren Central because of all of our, there's been, countless of people passing away.
And that was the topic, the issue that resonated with this group. We talked about ways to approach Warren Central's grappling with loss, what worked, and what was missing. Why did this school community have to learn to cope with losing classmates and loved ones? and who could speak to the issue. I laid out their challenge, their assignment. It was they who came up with the questions, sought out the people to interview, and guided the direction of the story.
You've experienced it yourself, but how have you seen it affect your family, friends, and loved ones?
What have you done to reach out to students in need of support?
Together, from inception to air, we produced a story in their voice, which these students feel needs attention in their Warren Central High School community. Coping with loss due to teen violence.
Thumbing through the yearbooks triggers the memories.
He was such a funny, he always brightened the room every single time.
The students here have had to learn to cope with losing friends and classmates to violence and the tragedy.
He was killed from a senseless act of gun violence. I remember just waking up to the bad news. My mom rushed in and told me that Dejohn got shot. It was another young person named Angel who was killed, and I feel like it traumatized the entire Warren Central as a school, and those people were like family to me, I guess you could say.
Tyler Hopkins is a senior now, but he'll never forget the weekend in May of 2017 when gunfire killed 17-year-old Angel Mejia Alfaro and critically hurt football standout 18-year-old Dejohn Anderson.
I will never forget that Monday where we lost Angel. Dejohn's fighting for his life in the hospital, and we didn't have kids came to school, which I thought was huge. They didn't want to stay home. They wanted to be here.
Teachers like Courtney Burchett became a support system for students here.
I just could remember seeing people cry and different types of groups of people getting together and just hugging each other.
Dejohn eventually lost the fight for his life.
And this was in 2016. Dejohn picked me for our teacher appreciation.
Ms. Burchett, along with other teachers, classmates, counselors, and administrators, help each other cope.
And our services were amazing. They provided support dogs and just any outlet of grief that the kids needed was provided.
They bring in therapy dogs, actually, and that kind of helped me mentally.
It helps to have one of these pups around. This is Lainey, the therapy dog here at Warren.
Lainey helps students deal with loss or just a tough time.
But if you ask any of the students rushing through these halls, going to and from class, they will tell you they could use a little extra support.
It's the call to action students want to stress, the need for ongoing support even beyond times of tragedy. And tragedy has been reoccurring here since we've lost classmates to teen violence, car crashes, house fires, and addiction.
And I feel like if they just keep it consistent and not just stop for like a short term of time, I feel like it could help a lot of people mentally.
I think between myself and a lot of other adults, they feel comfortable in sharing their problems and issues. And sometimes you just got to check on them and make sure they're okay because they don't really want to speak about what's going on.
Warren Central students say the stress of balancing schoolwork, sports, extracurricular activities, friends, and family is tough enough without having to process the deaths of classmates. They'd like consistent resources available to help manage mental health issues and stress, as well as an ear to listen. Students are responding to their own call to action too, knowing they have to support each other too.
I feel like if I were to be more in certain people's lives, then I could have possibly stopped certain people from, being killed or being in the wrong situation at the wrong time.
We'll never forget what happened that May, and we can just keep preaching to kids that you got to make sure that listen to your parents, make those right decisions, and your life can really just change in an instant. But our educators are so invested in our kids, it's like losing a member of their family because that's how tight-knit this community is.
Working for you in Warren Township, I'm Zoe Fisher.
And I'm Brad Batista.
And I'm Will Matchett.
Now, there has been a positive change in a movement since the deaths of Dejohn Anderson and Angel Mejia. One of Anderson's friends is Brandon Warren, who received the RTV6 Jefferson Award for multiplying good last year. Brandon founded the We Life Incorporated, a youth-led organization focused on curbing teen violence. It started at Warren Central and has spread to schools across the Indianapolis metro area. Last August, the group held a peace walk to help end gun violence in Indianapolis.
Brandon is a special young man. As we continue to observe American Heart Month, next, the story of a woman who survived a brush with death and how her story can help you be more aware of your heart health. But first, let's check in with TK. Hey, TK.
Raphael, yesterday we were walking out to temperatures that were in the 40s and 50s. A completely new air mass is in place this morning. It is a cold one. We're in the mid-20s throughout the morning hours. The good news is plenty of sunshine in the forecast today. We'll talk all about it coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues. The time now is 6:45. Stay with us. We're back in just a few minutes.
The 2020 Altima.
It is 6:47 on your Wednesday. We're monitoring an issue here on the northwest side of town. You see all the flashing lights here at I-465 and 86th Street. Keeping you updated on this crash here. A wrecked SUV actually in this ditch in the area between eastbound 86th Street and the ramp to southbound 465. The right lane of eastbound 86th Street blocked by emergency vehicles, and you can see we have some emergency vehicles in the shoulder here on the interstate as well. So just use caution as you travel through this spot. You can see there are some slowdowns on the ramp system there at this hour.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death for women in the United States, but some women see it as a man's disease, writing off the symptoms as something less serious. Our Alyssa Donovan is live this morning. And Alyssa, you spoke to a woman who says she never would have guessed the symptoms she had that were that of a heart attack.
That's right, Meredith. And it's been 8 weeks since Pam suffered a heart attack, and she tells me it's still sinking in that this is something that actually happened to her. She says in the days leading up to her heart attack, she had been feeling tired, and then that morning she started feeling chest discomfort and pain in her jaw, but she still didn't think it was anything very serious.
Just like, gosh, what did I do? Did I lift something? What happened?
But that wasn't the case at all. Pam's husband, Jerry, took her to the hospital, and within minutes, this 65-year-old was told she was having a heart attack. And then her heart stopped for 10 full minutes. Once she came to, she was rushed to a procedure room, and she was told she had 100% blockage in one of her arteries. Nurses telling her and her family how lucky she was they arrived when they did. Now the couple starts each day with a walk around their neighborhood in Speedway. They eat healthier and have encouraged other family members to get heart scans.
Don't second guess, just go. I never, ever thought that it would happen to me. I mean, because I'm healthy, I would go to the doctor every year, have the physical, and I don't think I'd be here today if we had waited.
Pam says she hopes her story can be a wake-up call to other women to know the signs of a heart attack, be aware of family history, and to go with your gut when you feel something just isn't right. And Pam says she did know her family history, and they did have a history of heart disease, but she still didn't expect this to happen to her. She lost her father to a heart attack when she was in high school, and then she also lost her brother to a stroke. Since she's had her heart attack, her 3 sisters have also received heart scans, one of them learning that they have an aortic aneurysm that needs to be monitored. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. The time now is 6:50. Time to check your forecast. It is still winter, but some of those numbers look kind of spring-like, don't they?
A little bit. Yeah, coming up.
It is. Yesterday we were in the 50s in the morning hours and 40s for some of you, but today new air mass is in place and it's much colder, but we get the sunshine back. So that's the trade-off. The clouds in 40s compared to sunny skies and temperatures in the 30s. And as we look ahead to the weekends, well, a 50-50 weekend. One day is better than the other. We'll talk more about that in just a second. 24 in Lafayette as well as Greencastle and Martinsville. 25 is the current temperature in Greenfield, and over in the Richmond area, the temperature is sitting right now at 23 degrees. Our featured dog here is Mae West. He's just sitting there on the back of the couch with it. It looks like his toy looks like a little possum there, but whatever it is, he loves it. And thanks to Aaron for sending that in. Of course, you can send your photos into my Facebook page, Todd Clausen, RTV6, and we'll give you the green pause here throughout the day today. No real weather-related issues. Just need to bundle up this morning. You notice the temperature trend going into the upper 30s later on this afternoon for your high temperatures. This morning, skies are clear for just about everybody. The one exception is to the north here. There's one little band of cloud cover with the northwesterly winds drifting in off of Lake Michigan. No precipitation, and that will continue to fall apart as it pushes south further away from the lake. And then off to our west, you do notice some snow in Omaha, and that is going to start to make its way in our direction tomorrow. So throughout the day today, we are just looking at clear skies, plenty of sunshine from start to finish throughout the day today. But then we'll start to notice late this evening some high clouds start to make their way into the area as that system I just showed you makes its way into our direction. It really falls apart as it moves in, but there will be the opportunity, I think, tomorrow morning for your commute in northern locations only for a few snow showers. It won't cause any accumulation. Just don't want you to be shocked if you're in Logansport, Delphi, Kokomo, Peru, over maybe even into Marion if you see a few flakes tomorrow morning. And that should be just just about it. Everybody else has a clear sky. Temperatures tomorrow morning in the teens and 20s. So it's a little bit colder tomorrow morning than it is here this morning. And then it'll be even colder come Friday morning. But as we extend out the forecast here, Thursday we're looking at temperatures in the 30s. And then eventually as we get into the weekend, we'll start to see those temperatures moderate. So Saturday, 45 degrees. It's a great day. It's the better day of the weekend. Sunday, clouds increase and some showers will develop, but it's fairly mild with highs near 50 degrees. And it doesn't look like Sunday's a washout. It's just some scattered showers that move in. But until we get to that, enjoy the sunshine here, Lauren, the next few days.
Todd, thank you. I want to keep you in the loop of what's going on your morning drive. We've been showing you that crash cleanup on the northwest side at 465 and 86th Street. You can take a look here. Everything is now clear. Great news, traveling up to speed.
Here's a reminder of how old some of us are in the newsroom. Maybe Kevin Gregory. Next, it was one of the biggest songs of its time. And now it has reached an incredible milestone. And it's one you may want to sing along with. Join us back right here on Good Morning, Indiana. Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
The song didn't make any waves the first time it was released way back in 1984.
That was a good year, by the way. But the next year, it was matched up with a groundbreaking video that captured the attention of fans around the world through a thing called MTV.
Okay,
yeah,
well,
MTV.
the song is now an icon, and this week it reached a really impressive milestone. All YouTube that, right? This week, Take On Me by hit 1 billion views on YouTube. Keep in mind, YouTube didn't even exist until 20 years after this song was a hit.
And about 1 million of those views is Raphael being like, back in my day, this song was a banger. This was good.
Is that your number 2 on your karaoke go-to list? It was Elton John yesterday. This
yeah, no. That was a little
high
hard.
note?
No, I think that's more for Raphael. Yeah.
All right, lots of sunshine in the forecast here for the day today. Temperatures a little bit below normal with highs that'll top off in the mid to upper 30s.
Todd, thanks, and thank you for joining us. We're back here in 25 minutes and throughout Good Morning America with news, weather, and traffic.
All your news throughout the day is on the RTV6 app.
Have a great Tuesday, and I want my MTV.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, even better.
Wow.